legendary Daytona International Speedway kicked off a historic 75th season of NASCAR racing. We crowned a champion this historic season at Phoenix Raceway. But for now, it's time for a championship preview. Glad to have you on the latest edition of Sports360AZ. I'm your host this week, Devin Henry from Phoenix Raceway. As always, we are brought to you by Desert Financial Credit Union. Desert Financial Credit Union, taking care of you, taking care of your business. That is Desert Financial Credit Union. It is all about the Kevin Durant era, starting with the Phoenix Suns and, of course, the championship preview, the United Rentals 500 weekend here at Phoenix Raceway as we look ahead to championship weekend in November. We start things off by sitting down with a championship 4 member 1 year ago, Christopher Bell. He digs into just how important this NASCAR race weekend is here at Phoenix Raceway. And maybe the most fun part of being at Phoenix Raceway the past few years, not what happened on track, but what happened in the Xfinity Series garage. How patients from Phoenix Children's Hospital went from their hospital room to the racetrack with Josh Williams. And the Kevin Durant era has started in Phoenix. Brad Sesmat sits down with ESPN and ABC's Cassie Hubbard and Brian Windhorst to discuss what to expect with Kevin Durant now in that sunburst uniform. And if you haven't heard of these two All-Stars yet, you're going to eventually. Eliav Gabay sits down with two of the greatest basketball talents right now in the state of Arizona. All of that and more on the way here on Sports360AZ, but we start with what's going on right here at Phoenix Raceway, the United Rentals 500. A chance for all of these drivers long before we have our championship weekend to get accustomed with these cars at this racetrack. We sit down with a member of the championship 4 1 year ago, Christopher Bell from Joe Gibbs Racing, to discuss just how important this race weekend is to your hopes of winning a title here in November.
It's very unique to be able to have a race on the schedule that means so much. You know, this is really the best practice session and the best test and tune session that we'll get for that championship battle. So very important race at Phoenix, and you need to make sure that you make the most of it. And last year we did not have a good showing at Phoenix in March, and then that led to a not good showing in the Final Four as well. So this year we have some changes going into Phoenix with the rules package stuff, and I'm really excited about that, going there with the new low downforce package. Hopefully we'll be slipping and sliding around a little bit more, and I think that should be more up to my wheelhouse.
Taking a look at this year, came so close in the Daytona 500. You're coming off of a career year, made the championship 4, 3 wins, 4 poles, 20 top 10s. What are the goals to open up this season to keep that momentum rolling, get back in the win column early again here in 2023?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is just trying to improve on our consistency. And at the end of the year, I felt like we were finally getting some consistent runs in where we were up front a lot. But then starting out 2023, even in California, we had a very abysmal showing. So still got it's a work in progress, obviously, and I think every team in the garage would say that. But we know what our weaknesses are, and we're trying to improve on them going into this year. And just try and be consistently up front and contending for more stage wins and more race wins.
And before I let you go, we got to talk about the person who runs the Bell household, of course, that being Sadie, the beloved dog across the world. So I got to know about Sadie, though. You get to take her to the track sometimes she's in the RV. What kind of dog is Sadie at the racetrack when she gets to go there, and how often does she actually get to go to the track?
Yeah, she went to the races quite a bit the last couple of years. She hasn't gone to any of the races this year. And then the West Coast stuff is just really hard because it's a really long plane flight out there, so we don't bring her to any of the Phoenix, Vegas, or California trip. But I mean, she doesn't really know if she's at the racetrack or not. She just gets mad whenever we have to go to work and get in the cars. So, but if you have a bad run, it's always nice to be able to come back to the motorhome and she's happy to see you. She doesn't know if you win or lose.
Well, Christopher, I appreciate your time, man. Looking forward to seeing what you guys bring in that number 20 car this year. Best of luck to you on this West Coast swing. Hope to see you again at Phoenix Fine for a championship again.
Thanks, Devin. We'll talk to you later.
Over the past couple of years, Phoenix Children's Hospital patients have had the opportunity to get a tour behind the scenes of Phoenix Raceway from a NASCAR driver. If it wasn't for those, they may have never had the chance to attend the Super Bowl without ever leaving their hospital rooms. All of that came from a NASCAR driver that you might have never heard of before.
I don't know who has more fun, a kid or me.
In NASCAR's past 3 visits to Phoenix Raceway, the most miraculous action over the weekend might not have actually happened on the track. It took place in the NASCAR Xfinity Series garage, where patients from Phoenix Children's Hospital experienced a one-of-a-kind VIP tour of a live NASCAR garage from DGM Racing driver Josh Williams.
The kids that can't come to the racetrack, they can sit there in their hospital bed or in the playroom, wherever they're at, get on the laptop and follow me around, look at the cars, all the crew people. It's just a blast, man. I love it.
So they are controlling the robot, they're following Josh, and they're able to converse back and forth, and really it's like they're here experiencing it live.
And it just helps the kids be kids and have fun. You know, they're in the hospital. It's not the most comfortable place to be, but this distracts them. It gives them an escape, you know, just to like, wow, this is really neat. While I'm at Phoenix Children's, I got to meet Josh Williams.
Since 2015, Williams has made around 200 visits to nearly 100 different hospitals across the nation. Even after the arrival of the pandemic complicated all aspects of our lives, Josh's team found a way to continue his whimsical appearances when they stumbled upon these Omni robots at Phoenix Children's in 2021.
We believe in the value of service robots in helping people with various tasks, especially in the hospital environment. So one time back in 2021, during one of his visits to Phoenix Children's Hospital, Josh saw the Omni robots and also loved the idea. So a light bulb went off, and he suggested using our robots to give the pediatric patients a chance to see his car and garage at the racetrack.
It was very organic. We found some patients, he met with them, and he actually drove through the hospital on the Omni robots himself. And then he came back in springtime and he's like, well, let's bring the kids out here. And so we had the kids driving around, and then he also did driving around the hospital, and they raced.
Williams now has his own Omni robots that travel with his cars from track to use with children's hospitals across the nation. In large part due to Josh's altruistic efforts and collaboration with Omni Labs, patients from Phoenix Children's Hospital Philadelphia, and Children's Mercy Kansas City got to do the unthinkable. Attend Super Bowl 57 in Glendale, up close, from their hospital rooms.
Lorenzo Alexander from Basket of Hope, another non-profit organization, saw our Omni robot as a NASCAR event with Josh Williams. And Lorenzo loved the idea as well, right? So he brought it back and proposed it to the Super Bowl committee and actually made it happen.
What we hope for the children is that they can just take some time out of their day fighting their injuries or illness and have an opportunity, really once in a lifetime opportunity to enjoy their afternoon and not think about their illness or injury.
It's life-changing, to be honest with you. I'm very fortunate to get to do what I do, and it doesn't cost anything to take a couple minutes out of my day to just show them a good time.
The enemy is flanking.
Did someone say happy banking?
Who is that?
It's the Wizard's banker of House Desert Financial. Legend is, she helped him open up a checking account so good. Now he takes a spa day once a month.
In Elvish, it is called Gura Ninawi Siento.
What's next? Destroy some cursed jewelry?
Drink, sir.
Ooh, I shall not pass. Welcome to Happy Banking.
Discover more Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino.
Hi folks, here are your drinks.
Where having fun means racking up reward credits with the Caesars Rewards loyalty program that can be redeemed for food, free play, hotel stays, and more. Not only here in the city of Maricopa, but also at more than 50 Caesars properties coast to coast. From Harrah's Las Vegas to Caesars Palace in Atlantic City. What are you waiting for? Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino, the official sponsor of Play.
Bienvenidos.
Here in the heart of the American Southwest, you'll find 3 well-known restaurants all named Valle Luna, serving the finest Sonoran-style Mexican food known across the country and beyond. And we're open for business, so come on in. We've fired up the grill and iced down the refreshments and even added some specialties along the way.
Thanks for coming.
Hello. Greetings.
Welcome back.
No matter where you're from or how you say it, at Valle Luna, you're always welcome, and we're glad to have you back.
We are IBEW
Local 640.
Local 640.
Let's talk about Venezia's Pizzeria. New York-style pizza. Oh, man, this looks so good. Pizza doughs made fresh daily, wings, subs, sandwiches, pasta. They cater, they deliver. They have 5 Valley locations. Venezia's New York-style Pizzeria.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
Custom ordering is at Santan Ford. Colors, wheels, trims, performance packages, and more. From the factory right to your driveway. And you can even track your custom Ford every step of the way.
We are Santan Ford.
The Kevin Durant era for the Phoenix Suns is here, and boy has it looked pretty dang good so far. Our own Brad Sesmet has been traveling with the team, and he caught up with a pair of national voices from ABC and ESPN, Brian Windhorst and Cassie Hubbard. They both weigh in on the Suns' acquisition of the 13-time All-Star and future Hall of Famer. We start with Cassie Hubbard, who was on the sideline for the Suns' thrilling win in Dallas on Sunday.
My expectations are high for this team because you have high character guys. Kevin Durant just wants to hoop. Like, that's the thing. Like, I think what was most frustrating, and he said this, in Brooklyn, is that there were so many distractions, and KD is just a hooper. He just wants to play basketball. So, I just think that, it's going to be exciting because Devin's the same way. And we all know that CP3 is, the point guard. So we like to have 3 guys so focused on wanting to win a championship. I think the sky's the limit, but there's a lot of things to iron out.
Yeah, the thing that Kevin said, and this was to Brian and myself, he said, here, things get taken care of, they get addressed, and it's refreshing, was his end quote, which I looked at Brian, we looked at each other, and I had him on. I said, do you think that was a dig? He's like, I'm still trying to process that one. So I think it was, but that's...
I mean, whether it's a dig or not, I think what I appreciate about Kevin Durant in this, I guess you can say second half of his career is just how honest he is. I mean, yeah. I think we want athletes to be this transparent, and he has been very transparent about his ups and downs and what he's gone through. And I think Kevin Durant is very honest about who he is, and his game, and how much he loves playing this game and how much he's a big fan of this game. So I think when he talked about not regretting anything in his career, I do believe it in the sense because I think when he's on that court, he's present, when he gives it everything he has, and that's why I think things when he separated from the Nets. It was on very positive terms because the Nets saw how hard he worked when he was out there. The Nets saw how much he wanted to win in Brooklyn, but things just didn't work out, and so that's why they made it possible for him to go to his desired team. This was a collective effort, and I think that is the biggest compliment you can pay a player is we're gonna basically, I know not give away because no disrespect to Mikhail and Cam, but we're gonna give away one of the greatest players of all time because we know he's not happy here. So we have to move on and we'll let him go to where he wants to go. And I think that's a nod to just the professional that Kevin Durant is. The Suns were the beneficiary of it.
I was chopping it up with you because it gets very real. I like it. So I'll let you go off that.
Likewise, Brad. Likewise. What else can we be other than real?
Durant just wants to play. He wants to play every day. He wants to play year round. And his work ethic reflects that. You do not become the kind of skilled scorer he is without putting in an extraordinary amount of time. All-Star break was a nice long time. He could have, he just got to Phoenix. He could have gone back home. He could have been focused on his move. No, he went to Salt Lake City briefly to do his media obligations. He came back to Phoenix, spent the whole time working out in the gym, a lot of times with Booker. He just is a worker. The thing about Durant, he is the epitome of a guy who is focused on the game. Some of the things that he's done off the court I can't always explain because I don't think he owes an explanation about his career to anybody. He is just an absolutely spectacular player, an absolutely spectacular scorer, and that comes from the hours that he pours in and continues to pour in.
Anything short of a title for Phoenix, a disappointment, a failed experiment, all that stuff that people are talking about in Phoenix, your view?
Yes, but not this year. This is not a one and done situation. So I think they're going to have a real chance at it this year. We're going to see how their health is. I mean, look, Booker and Chris have got to stay healthy. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter who else is on the team. We'll see how. I actually think their supporting parts are better than other people. I see people, kind of ripping the rest of their team. Like, okay, I agree. They don't have Mikal Bridges. It would be nice if he was still here. He's not. I think Torrey Craig has had a pretty good year. I think Okogie looks like a different player. And I think Terrence Ross will be able to help them in, 1 to 2 games per playoff series, which is maybe all you need. You're not paying him anything. But I think in reality, this is going to be, you'll need another offseason to build up a supporting cast. And Durant is still playing like he's in his prime. Booker is in his prime. We'll see what happens with Chris, but those are the guys going forward. It doesn't just have to be in 2023. This is a window. The window is open. Let's see what happens.
When you get a home loan from Desert Financial, you're not just getting a mortgage. You get a mortgage and up to $5,000 closing cost credit. Click, call, or come in for more information on our great rates, local servicing, and how you can qualify for a closing cost credit of up to $5,000.
Big news! Mazda has been awarded Best New Car Brand for the 7th consecutive year. And Burge Mazda has just celebrated our 50th year selling Mazdas in Arizona, longer than any other dealer. And at Burge Mazda, you can save up to $4,500 off new 2022 Mazda CX-9s. Or drive a 2023 Mazda CX-5, now only $329 a month. And most new Mazda models receive the 2022 IIHS Top Safety Pick. Come see them at Burge Mazda, Baseline and Country Club, or start your journey at BurgeMazda.com.
For love of Mesa Town, it's where you go, where you grow, down Mesa Town. For love of Mesa.
I've talked to you about Midwestern Meats for a moment. 25 years ago, I was their spokesperson. I got talking with Rod, and he said, well, let's run it back, Brad. Midwestern Meats, it's where I go. It's in Mesa, but they deliver to you. You just go to MidwesternMeats.com. I mean, look at this. Whenever I'm getting ready for the barbecue, the vacation, or just stocking up and loading up, MidwesternMeats.com. MidwesternMeats.com. Nothing quite like it. That's Midwestern Meats.
We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
Bienvenidos. Here in the heart of the American Southwest, you'll find 3 well-known restaurants all named Valle Luna, serving the finest Sonoran-style Mexican food known across the country and beyond. And we're open for business, so come on in. We've fired up the grill and iced down the refreshments and even added some specialties along the way.
Thanks for coming.
Hello. Greetings.
Welcome back. No matter where you're from or how you say it, at Valle Luna, you're always welcome, and we're glad to have you back.
The inaugural Arizona Basketball Open Division Championship weekend was a success in large part thanks to Desert Vista's Jersey Robinson.
Jersey Robinson.
And Perry's Cody Williams.
Being a part of this team, the first Open Division, championship team in the history of Arizona. So I just want to be, remembered as a leader and someone who wins.
His legacy is a great basketball player, a great person, and even more importantly, a great person and family. Oh my God, that family means so much to me. Great family. Love them.
Hold on, got one. It's just amazing. God bless us with this opportunity and this team, and we just love each other, and we're proud to be able to experience this together.
While one is leaving on top, the other might just be starting a dynasty.
Dynasty, baby. Bringing it back to Tukey, all of our fans. It's an amazing feeling. We all came out here with a common goal to win the state championship, so whatever we could do to pitch in, and that's what I did to help my team win this.
To be honest with you, I didn't even draw it up really. I was just going with the flow, and then as it came junior year, I was like, we're definitely going to win. We could have won, I should have won my sophomore year, but you know, one junior year, and after that I was like, I have to go back to back, and that kind of just wrote itself after that. I was like, I have to run on the court. Me and Ben were talking, we were like, we got to get in our track stance, we got to sprint on the court. So it was just like the countdown, anticipation, 2 seconds left, and then we just stormed it. Seeing everyone cut down the net, everyone get involved, get in the game, it's just, man, it's just the best feeling in the world. I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else.
Most importantly, they both represent what Arizona is capable of on the court.
Man, I was about to say more and more people are coming out to watch. You know, I see a whole lot of people coming up to me be like, oh, I flew in from North Carolina, they like to see you play. And it's like, that's a huge honor. You know, people come flying across the country to come see you play all the way out in Arizona, which, you know, in my opinion is underrated for basketball. So I just feel like it's a huge honor to finally, you know, start getting some recognition for the basketball talent that's here.
Have you gotten any advice from your brother about how to handle all the recruiting, all the stuff, all the craziness that goes around?
First thing he says, obviously, congratulations, you know, embrace it. Not everyone, you know, McDonald's All-American, that's the highest accolade you can get as a high schooler. So he's like, obviously it's a great honor, embrace it. He's like, also know that when you get on the court, it doesn't mean anything, you know. Everyone can be ranked this, ranked that, but you have to go out and perform every night.
How would I describe my game? Humbly, unguardable, unstoppable. I was raised correctly in humility, and you know, I stay true to the Lord and stay grounded to Him, put Him first, and that's just allowed me to be exalted to the highest level.
Whatever the future holds for both these stars, you know they'll have Arizona in their hearts.
We here. PA, they might doubt Arizona, but we here. We here.
For Sports360AZ, I'm Eliav. Goodbye.
Before we say goodbye, let's take a look at what happened last year during championship weekend. California-born Zane Smith took home his first ever NASCAR Truck Series championship. It was close to home for him, but also for his lead engineer, Dylan Capello. He attended Liberty High School in Peoria and graduated from Northern Arizona University. And in his pursuits to become a NASCAR crew chief, a championship at home as an engineer was something that he just couldn't even script himself.
2022 Truck Series champion.
You couldn't write a better story in your hometown. I mean, it was amazing. It was just so surreal. It probably took 2 weeks for it to set in, you know.
Peoria, Arizona's Dylan Capello is the race engineer for the Front Row Motorsports Truck Series team driven by California native Zane Smith. In November, Capello saw the fruits of his labor pay off as Smith drove the number 38 machine to a Truck Series championship in Capello's home state.
You know, out of high school, I knew I wanted to do something in racing, and kind of engineering was the main kind of route I felt like I needed to take to do that. Kind of took every class and applied it a little bit to what I know about racing and how that could benefit me later down the road.
After graduating from Liberty High School in Peoria, Capello attended Northern Arizona University. Not long after obtaining his degree, he got the call to head to Charlotte and work for a NASCAR team. Although now he's a NASCAR engineer, Capello was a die-hard racer as a kid, and one of his fiercest former competitors is now a NASCAR Truck Series champion. Oh yeah, and he's the driver who races the truck that Capello wrenches. Zane Smith.
Dylan was one of the best race car drivers that I raced against. We grew up together going to the bull ring out in Las Vegas, racing against each other in Legends cars, and typically it was him or I that were winning week in, week out. So he was my main competition, and then always kind of remembered him.
He's just a really fierce competitor, you know, like you give him anything, he's going to drive the wheels off of it, you know. You can build a truck and you know that your driver's going to take it to its full potential each week, you know. My main goal is a crew chief. I really like the Truck Series, honestly. You get to do a little bit more, like I said, a little bit more hands-on with it. I really like it. That's kind of where I want to be. I want to crew chief a truck series team.
Capello still gets to race from time to time, but as for his dream to become a NASCAR crew chief, a fellow Arizonan and former Daytona 500 champion thinks Capello is well on his way to achieving those goals.
Dylan's talent. I mean, he'll be a crew chief someday, no doubt about it. And he's got the right drive and the right fire, and super smart. And then also being a racer too. You know, for him, he understands what it feels like. He knows what the drivers are talking about. Yeah, he's a young guy that has a bright future in our sport for sure.
That is our show for this week here at Phoenix Raceway. Be sure to join us on Sports360AZ all weekend long for coverage of the United Rentals 500 race weekend. And be sure to join us in November for a NASCAR championship weekend. Make it a great week.
The enemy is flanking.
Did someone say happy banking?
Who is that?
It's the Wizard's banker of House Desert Financial. Legend is, she helped him open up a checking account so good. Now he takes a spa day once a month.
In Elvish, it is called Guru Ninawi Siento.
What's next? Destroy some cursed jewelry?
Drink, sir.
I shall not pass. Welcome to happy banking.
We got them at Santan Ford. From the latest all-electrics to the most rugged 4x4s and America's best-selling truck.
We are Santan Ford.
Ortho Arizona and my journey. My knees were shot, so I had double knee replacement, and I wanted the best in rehab. Ortho Arizona encouraged and pushed me in the process. Go to orthoarizona.org. That's orthoarizona.org.
Visit us at Harrah's Auction Casino in the city of Maricopa, where you'll find play for all and friendly people ready to welcome you like family.
Welcome back, you two.
As the official sponsor of Play and the only casino in Arizona with Caesars Rewards, see what a difference it makes to play where your fun is our top priority. Harrah's Auction Casino. Play for all.
Our apprentices basically come from all walks of life. We get everybody from brand new graduated from high school, people looking for a midlife change of career.
It's been an absolute blast. I've had a ton of fun with a lot of really cool people.
You can always find work. You can do commercial, industrial, so I've done a little bit of everything.
If you have 3 years of experience or more, we need you now. Go to IBEW640.com.